What's up YouTube? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky and today we have a very interesting video. Should you use a credit card to buy a car? Now I've gotten tons of questions about this. I've seen it in the news lately and everything else, and so I figured I'd answer the question. Now I'm going to give you two perspectives, one from the customer and also from the dealer's perspective on why you should and shouldn't buy a car with a credit card. Now before I do, if you can please do me a huge favor and gently squeeze the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me find more amazing people like yourselves that enjoy automotive content. Also, please consider subscribing. We post great stuff like this all the time. We are posting 3 times a week, so make sure you click the notification bell. And once again, make sure you follow us on Instagram at automotive.life. We post there daily. All the stuff from us flipping cars to going to the auction to rental cars to all that fun stuff. We do it every single day on our Instagram, so make sure you check that out. And before I go any further, I want to make sure and thank you guys all. Once again, we had our 40,000 subscribers last week, which I truly appreciated. So we picked the winner. I'm going to put the winner somewhere here on the screen. So congratulations to you. Make sure you respond back to me in the comment section. Give me your email so this way we can set up our free consultation call. And we're probably going to do another one next week just to kind of keep that 40,000 sub giveaway going. But anyways, without any more shameless plugging, let's get into the video. Now, in this crazy world we're living in 2021, there are people that are actually going out and buying cars with their credit cards. And we're not talking about like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 cars. Oh no, we're talking like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, up to $100,000 using their credit cards to buy cars. It's crazy. This is the first time I've ever seen it in history, and I get a lot of people asking me, well, I got a credit card with this, I got a credit card with this, you know, I can go out and buy a car. So in the beginning, we're going to talk about the customer's perspective, and then afterwards, we're going to tell you about the dealer's perspective, the good and bad with each one. So let's start off with just the regular customer or consumer. So let's say you get a credit card approval and they give you, I've seen some credit cards give you 18 months at 0 interest, Now that's a good thing because now you have 18 months where you don't have any interest. But if you go out and you say, let's say you buy a $15,000 car, you put that on your credit card, now you're like, well, I have the $15,000 of capital where I can maybe invest in the stock market, I can maybe start a small business, I can flip a few cars, I can do whatever I want. If you have plans of using that money to make more money or to start a new business, I'm all about it. Just as long as you're disciplined enough to make sure that you follow through with that capital. So if you're flipping cars, go ahead and when you get the first chunk of money, go buy cars with the original money, but the profits, make sure you pay down your credit card. If you're investing, the first round of dividends, or if you see a 10% tick in increases, sell some of your options, keep back at the same amount of money you paid in, and go ahead and pay down that loan. As long as you do that, like I said, I'm all about it. But here's the downfall. If you are a consumer and you go out and you spend $15,000 on your credit card, and if you're planning on buying a house in the next 6 months or 3 months or something like that, automatically the next month your score is going to dramatically drop because you're going to go from 0 usage all the way up to 100%. You're going to have 15K showing up on your credit report. So if you plan on buying anything anytime soon, I definitely don't recommend you using your credit card to do this. Now, if you're not planning on buying a house or buying another car or maybe applying for a business loan or whatever else, and you want to use that capital, like I said, to invest in your businesses or invest in the stock market, you could go ahead and go for it. Now, with the consumer, you do have certain protections when you buy with a credit card. Now, you can always, and I don't like to admit this, but people will try to what's called back charge the credit card. So if, let's say you buy a car and the dealer tells you it's an amazing car, it's a perfect car, and you get it and you find out it's maybe salvaged, it's been in an accident, too many accidents, the transmission goes out a week later, technically you can use that to benefit you when it comes to actually getting your money back from the dealer. You can say, look, I'm going to back charge my credit card unless you give me the money back. Now, it's a lot of legality, it's a big headache, but you do have that option. And in some credit cards, believe it or not, you can actually get a 6-month to 1-year warranty if you purchase a car with your credit card, which is crazy. So there are a few options and benefits when it comes to using your credit card to buy a car. Now, if you ask me personally, Lucky, do you recommend doing it? I will tell you hell no, because it's just too much variables. It's a big chunk of interest you're going to have to pay, and you're going to screw up your credit just to be able to buy it with cash. Now, if you're very strategic and like I said, you know what you're doing, go for it. But I highly recommend you stay away from that and just go the traditional rent sense. And also, if you get like a business line of credit or a business loan, it doesn't even show up on your personal credit, so just go ahead and go with that way. You can literally go get a business secured line of credit give them your $18,000 or $15,000 and say, I want a $30,000 secured line of credit. They'll hold your 15 grand in collateral and then give you the $30,000 loan. Then you just go buy it with that, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it showing up on your personal credit, affecting your DTI, and you still have capital to grow your business, invest, or whatever else. So, little fun tidbit for you. Next thing, we're going to talk about what it's like from the dealer side. Now, as a dealer, I have no problem taking credit cards, debit cards, or whatever else when it comes to buying a car or doing a down payment, but you are going to get taxed. So this is to protect the dealer and also making sure that the consumer doesn't backcharge us. So, when it comes to the dealership end, if a customer comes in with a credit card, a lot of dealerships will not do this. So just give you a heads up. When customers come in and they want to use $5 grand down on a car to put as a down payment, I'm all about it. I'll take that in 5 seconds. I'll make you sign a credit card authorization form. I'm going to take copies of both your credit card and your driver's license front and back, make you sign that, and then run the card. So now I'm doubly protected that I'll make sure that if the customer tries to backcharge me, I have the correct documentation, which I could send in, where I can make sure they don't do that. Now, if they do decide that they 100% want to buy it only with their credit card, I had a construction company that was extremely firm on doing this. And I said, no problem, I'll do it, but I'm going to make you sign a few different contracts. So I did a regular contract, like a repo, like a traditional finance contract, and I told them I would take 6 payments of X amount of dollars to pay off the car. So let's say you're doing $10,000, so you need $5,000 and $2,000 payments. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I would run his credit card each time with a credit authorization form and make sure that I have a copy of his license for each one. So I'd run it for $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, $2 grand, boom, $10,000. And now I got all the money I need for the car. He's used his credit card, and he's happy. But the reason I did this is because for him to backcharge one $10,000 charge is easy, but for him to fight 5 $2,000 charges is much, much harder. So my risk is less likely. Plus, I charged him an additional 3 to 5% because he used his credit card. So that made me a little bit of extra money. Plus, I did this with a trusted individual that I know, that I've done business with in the past. If it was just some guy off the streets, hell no. There are way too many of these fake credit card baller hackers that basically they buy stuff with their credit card and they charge it off the next week. If you don't know what I'm saying, look on YouTube. There's a bunch of these guys that do this stuff. They even brag about going into dealerships, buying $10,000 cars and then back charging it and selling the car on the streets. I will never give up a title for a car until that thing has been cleared for at least a few months, and then I'll go ahead and do it. Because even if, as a dealer's perspective, if they do pay you with the credit card, you want to make sure you protect yourself. So have that contract. Also have, never send in the title paperwork right away. So if something happens and they want to backcharge you a month later, you still have the title. You can claim it as a first payment default, and you can go repo the car. And this way, they can't keep the car, you're not screwed, they're not screwed, and some of these other things. So, customers, when you're hearing me talk about this and you wonder, well, how come they won't take my credit card? Is because we're so afraid as dealers that you're gonna backcharge us, screw us, or do something else. Because I'm sure you've heard the terminology when you go into a dealership, buyers are liars. It's 100% true. At the end of the day, everybody talks about the big bad dealerships, that we screw everybody, that we're mean and angry people. We are very rude and angry when you try to screw us. And when you have that intention, it's very obvious. So we have to protect ourselves. And that's the reason why, is because we hit so many people that screw us. I've been backcharged so many times, it's ridiculous. Like, people will pay for a down payment and then backcharge it, and we win it, and they'll call me, oh, but I needed that money to pay rent. Then why did you need a new Mercedes? You should have just waited the next month and bid that. Well, can you give me the money back and I'll work it back with you? No, you backcharged me, you're done. I go, if you try it again, I will literally come pick up the car and leave you on the streets. So you have to be that way when it comes to this. So when it comes to buying with credit cards, like I said, it's definitely a double-edged sword. If you do have really good credit, I definitely recommend going with the business credit cards or the business line of credit. Don't screw up your personal credit. That's the biggest thing we preach on this channel is, whether you're buying cars for Turo, you're buying cars for your dealership, or you're buying cars to flip, you want to build an LLC. You can co-sign for that to get a business credit card or a business line of credit and start using it to buy cars, fix cars, sell cars, rent cars out, whatever it is. But you could do all the stuff we just talked about with the business credit card plus you get the tax write-offs, and it doesn't affect your personal credit. So if you're considering buying a car with a credit card and you have really good credit, and perfect example like US Bank, Wells Fargo, and a few other ones, they have these business credit cards where it's like 18 months, no interest. So you can go down there, pick up that card, buy the car you want at no interest, and now you have the car you want with no interest. You plan on paying it off in a year or 18 months, great. It's a good thing for you. And plus you build your business rapport with the bank, which is even more important, because even after you pay off your personal credit card and you say, hey, look, I paid off my personal credit card, I want more money. First thing you're gonna do is they're gonna look at you as a risk, because you just borrowed 15K, you maxed out the card in the first day, and then it took you 18 months to pay it off. They're not gonna give you more money, they're gonna be afraid. Where on the other hand, if you do it with a business credit card, they love it. They're like, oh, this guy's using the card to make money and he's using it for business. Let's give him $30,000 this next time. And it sounds funny, but that's the way banks work. So the moral of the story is, you can use a credit card to buy your car. Don't be afraid to ask dealers, and don't be upset when the dealers tell you to go pound sand or kick rocks, because some of them don't want to take the risk because of the reasons I gave you. So make sure you think about these things before you go there. And also, don't try to go buy some $60,000, $70,000 car. I'm pretty much 99.99% sure no dealer will actually do that. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 dealers actually do that, and they were independents. And I think the only reason they did that is probably because they were desperate for money and they needed the sale. I would never risk $60,000 that somebody can pull back with one phone call and take off with my car. It's not worth it, not worth the headache. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you learned anything, please gently squeeze the like button. I truly appreciate it. Like I said, once again, consider subscribing and follow us on Instagram at automotive.life. And once again, congratulations to our winner, which we're going to post somewhere here again. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below. I answer every single one myself personally. I also answer every single email you guys send me at lucky@automotivelife.com. I answer every single one of those myself as well. So please don't be afraid to reach out to me. If you want to book a consulting call, the link's down below. The new website's up. We got a bunch of new stuff coming. I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.